welcome to the preparedhomestead.com. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. This has been a really busy day. I have not stopped at all. Praise the Father, though. It's His good works in our life is absolutely a wonderful blessing. It's the things that go on that we sometimes overlook. I think sometimes we don't always see that, and sometimes we need to slow down a little bit to notice it. But boy, today's been a busy one. It's been a good day. Very busy, but very good. We always have these plans for the worst, right? That's what we're supposed to do. We plan for the worst. We hope for the best. We have all these contingencies. What happens when things turn out a little different than we thought, in the sense of everything falls apart, and according to everyone online, even myself at times, the idea is that when it all falls apart, people are just going to be horrible, and there are definitely going to be a lot of that happening, especially in certain parts of this country, certain parts of the world. People are going to be behaving badly, and I've said it for a long time. That's our biggest danger, our biggest threat. But that doesn't mean that all people are going to be behaving badly. In fact, there's many times that I can and you can too, point out to where there were things that happened, disasters, catastrophes, little collapses of some sort, and people actually pulled together and they helped each other out, and they pulled through, and they worked together. And while yes, people are going to behave badly when things get bad, when things fall apart, when they can't get their cell phones to work, when they can't go get their fancy coffees and all that kind of stuff. The reality is that there's certainly going to be places where people pull together and they realize they gotta help each other out and help their neighbors out. And while that may sound like the easiest scenario, what I'm getting to with this is that you, as prepared-minded people, as people that are kind of already down this path of preparedness and thinking ahead of all the stuff that could happen and how to get ready for it, you may find yourself in a leadership position. Your neighbors might be coming to you, and I know a lot of you are going to say, well, they're going to come to you to take your stuff, and it's possible, but that's not necessarily the case. We can't always just assume the worst. We need to prepare for the worst, but not just assume the worst out of everything and everybody. It's quite possible that people, your neighbors, your community, will come to you because they know that you're prepared, and they're hoping that you'll have a plan. What do? We want to stand together and get through whatever it is that we're going through. We just need guidance. I've said for a long time, a big part of what I'm doing on here through videos and in the real world community that we're doing is not so much of helping people become more prepared, but building leadership, to teaching people how to be leaders, so that when things fall apart, you are a leader in your community. You're kind of like a little team captain, neighborhood captain, that can pull people together and say, hey, things are bad, comms are down, the grid's gone down, the supply chain's gone down, whatever it is. But we got to stick together. And I have a plan because we've been thinking about this already, and we need to do this. Now, I don't see the world through rosy lenses, so I don't think that everyone's just going to jump on board with that. But there most definitely is going to be certain areas that will. There's certainly going to be certain people that will do that. And so you, as someone that's well ahead of the average person when it comes to your plans, your skills, your awareness of what's going on, you are a leader. Whether you want to be or not, you could easily be in a leadership position in your community. You could be one of those that's gathering your neighbors together and saying, hey, I've already got some radios. This is the frequencies we can use. Here's some you can borrow. This is how we use a radio. We need to set up lookout points here and there. We need to be starting to produce this kind of food and this, and we need to make sure that we have some water system. We need someone to be bringing up water out of that creek and all that kind of stuff, because you're well ahead of all of them in up here with your thoughts. And so when things fall apart, people are going to panic. People are going to, they're not going to be thinking straight. They're going to be, kind of in this shell shock state. And you step in with your neighbors and say, hey, here's how we do it. This is how we communicate. This is how we secure things. This is what we do about water. This is what we do about food. This is what we do about heating our homes and taking care of the, illnesses and injuries, because you've already thought about it. Doesn't mean that you're using all your preps. Doesn't mean that you're, giving all this stuff away and that you're taking care of everyone, but you're stepping up in a position of leadership to lead your neighborhood, lead your community. My personal opinion is that you're going to be much better off, and there's going to be less danger from those people if you take that kind of position. If you just close yourself off and you say, I'm not talking, I'm not dealing with anybody, then they may come after you. They may come to your house and say, listen, we're hungry, we're thirsty, we need help. We know you have it. You should share with us. Instead, teach them how to do it. Show them, this is what you need to do. Yes, I'm prepared, you're not, but let me show you very quickly, this is how we do things. And so, for those of you, and again, this is not going to be across the board. I get it. I know some of you said, oh, I live in an area where everyone's stuck, their head's stuck in the sand. They're all a bunch of liberals. They're all a bunch of government this and that. I get it. I get it. But there's most certainly going to be some of you that in certain types of crises, your neighbors, the people in your community, may look to you for some type of leadership. Because a big part is that you're going to be much more level-headed. You're going to be able to see through all the danger, the disaster, and not be in this shell-shocked panic, because you're ready for it. You're mentally ready for what's going on. And so I seriously want to encourage you to kind of think about this. I know some of you are like, I'm not a leader. I have no desire to do this. But it may end up being thrust upon you. As believers, I think it's going to be, it would be difficult, and I don't think very biblical for us to see people in need around us and just say, they're on their own. They want to starve, whatever it is, that's on them. And I know that most of you have a compassionate heart, and as much as you want to be tough and put those castle walls up when things happen, I don't think most of you are going to be able to do that. And so a good alternative is to plan on the possibility of you falling into some kind of leadership role in a position where you can very quickly teach people, say, hey, this is how we organize. This is how we stick together. This is how we're going to get through this. Yes, electricity's down, communications are down, supply chains shut down, there's no gasoline, there's no food, whatever it is. But here's how we do it. We keep our heads together, they're screwed on straight, and we're going to push through these disasters, this danger, this collapse, whatever it is. And I have a plan. It's not 100%, but it's certainly better than anything else we got. In areas that there's still going to be some levels of local government, they may reach out to you. They may say, hey, can you help us do this? I know that's not going to be the case everywhere. I'm not that, I don't think that it's going to be that way everywhere. But I think there's certainly going to be certain areas where people are going to be more open. They're going to see that, wow, this person is more prepared. This is why I think that the reputations that we build now are going to take us further than just about anything. Establishing yourself with a good reputation in your community, where people look up to you and people trust you. They know that you're a good guy. They say, oh, this guy's a good guy. He's got good character. He's someone you can trust and depend upon. The odds are there'll be more people siding with you, more people coming to you for guidance than there would be people coming to you to take from you. This may not be a popular topic. This may not be a popular thought. But I do think, and based on my experiences of working in disasters like tornadoes and floods and hurricanes and stuff over the many years ago in another lifetime, there's still good people out there. There's still people that's going to pull together. And a lot of times they just need guidance. They need leadership. And you could definitely be that person in leadership. And so, along with all the mental preparedness, the physical preparedness and stuff that we do, this should be one of those things. This should be something that you're kind of preparing yourself for. That, you know, how do I handle this? Do I have some extra radios? That's why I advocate those cheap $15, $20 Baofeng radios. They're not great for a lot of reasons, but they get the job done in a pinch. And every time I find them on sale, I buy 2 or 3 of them, and I have a stockpile. That's not those cheap ones aren't the ones that I primarily carry, but I have a few of them stockpiled away, and that's one of the reasons why I have them. So when things fall apart, I can start handing those out to people right around me and say, here, we're on this channel, this is how we communicate, this is what we need to do. We need to be planning for this kind of stuff. I don't think that everyone's just going to be completely evil and crazy and just consume everything and turn into an animal. There's certainly going to be some people, very much, and it could be the majority of people, but I believe that there's going to be some good people out there when things really fall apart. And it would be better for us to build relationships with those good people than to just turn them all away. And then we have everyone to deal with. There's strength in numbers. No matter how strong, how well prepared you are, if you're outnumbered by even more than a 3-to-1 odd, a 3-to-1 or more, you're at a serious disadvantage. And the odds are you can't survive against those kind of odds. And so you're better off building people around you. If you can do it now ahead of time, well, of course, that's the best option. But even if you're not doing that now, have a plan that when it all comes apart, there may be people that will come to you for help and for guidance, and you need to step up. You need to step up in a biblical leadership. And what I mean, you look up in the Bible what a good leader is, what they're capable of, the type of moral character that they should have. And that's the kind of person you need to be. And I believe if you do that the right way, through a biblical world lens and through, you know, doing things in that manner, I think there'll be a bit of blessing and protection over you. So, folks, you need to be preparing for this kind of stuff too. We can't just isolate ourselves from the rest of the world. Typically, that's not a good plan. You need to be getting your houses in order and preparing yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.